Hello, here we are in Homer City, Pennsylvania at Hope Lutheran Church, September 9th, 2011. We will be videotaping Everlast insulation utilizing the blow-and-blanket fiberglass insulation system to retrofit insulate this 140-year-old historic church. The structure is brick and therefore we will be insulating from the interior. Now we are in the church, and as we go along, I will be introducing our crew and recording how we went about insulating a structure like this.
Hi Justin.
How's it going?
Can you tell me what you're doing today?
Prepping these walls, drilling our 2-inch holes in each cavity so that we can properly insulate it. We use this to collect a lot of the dust off the walls. We're drilling the holes to keep the dust down. Probe over and find the next stud in the wall, and then we'll drill our next hole.
Justin, how deep is the plaster there?
It's probably a 1/4 inch thick, I'd say.
1/4 inch thick plaster.
Yeah, it all varies. Over here it's almost an inch.
So as you can see, without a drop cloth being on the floor, we wanted to show you that there is not much dust that occurs because of the system that we use of sucking up the dust while we're drilling, because that is quite a thick amount of plaster for walls to have. A typical home would not have that much. Now we're going to go up into the attic of the church. Dan Fatola, our foreman, is up here prepping. He'll explain to you what we're doing. Hi there, we're here with Dan Fatola, our foreman. Dan, can you tell me a little bit about what we're doing up here?
We need to cut access holes into the edge of the ceiling up here in order to reach. There's a sloped part of the church walls, which you can't see from here, but she can show you down below. What we need to do is cut access channels into that in order to get to that area so we can properly insulate it.
Can you tell me what's up in the attic right now? Is there any insulation up here currently?
No, there's currently no insulation at all. We'll be adding 13 inches, which is an R38, which would improve this church dramatically.
Can I get a shot here? Can you show me where the ceiling of the church is? Is this right here the ceiling?
Yes.
That we're looking at? So there's absolutely nothing in the ceiling at all?
No.
Okay, thanks Dan very much. We'll be back whenever. What are we going to do next up here?
I'm going to continue to cut holes up here, and then we'll be ready to insulate.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks.
Okay, this is just a shot of why we are cutting access holes so that we can get the slope of the ceiling. Okay, here we are with Dan. He's starting to blow the walls. We're located in the second story of the church up in where the choir sits, and I'm going to ask Dan here, how do you know that you're filling up the entire cavity of the wall, Dan, whenever you're blowing insulation in?
What we've done is we have the 2-inch hole drilled, obviously. What we take is a plumb bob. It's just basically a string with a weight on it. We'll drop it down in the hole, make sure we're getting the whole way to the bottom of the cavity. There's no fire breaks, there's no stops or anything like that. With our nozzle, it rotates 360 degrees. We're using air pressure to blow the insulation through the hose. And what it has is a pressure release kind of valve on here. The more insulation as the cavity starts to fill, the air will start back pressuring back through this area right here.
And why do you have the holes duct taped? Before you begin, I wanted to ask you that. Why are some of these holes?
What we do is we duct tape every hole other than the one that we're installing on to alleviate some of the dust and debris that may come out of the hole. With using the air pressure, it builds a lot of pressure that will blow out the holes. So to stop that, to keep the dust down, we duct tape them.
Okay, so if you don't mind, go ahead and start blowing, and I'm just going to videotape here while you do that. Trying to get on camera here the insulation going through the tube, which it's running so fast it's a little difficult to see. But you can see some flashing of the tube. So as you can see, it's taken quite some time to blow this completely full of insulation, because the height of it, how high is this building, Dan, would you say?
Probably 15 to 16 foot walls.
And the depth's about 7 inches deep?
Yeah, probably around 6.5.
6.5, 7 inches deep. And the studs are looking to be about 16 inches apart. So you can start to hear the air backing up. Hear the air release out of the wall. Okay. Packed full. We are now up in the attic of the Hope Lutheran Church. As you can see, there is no insulation in the attic. It's a really cool attic here, large one, that we're going to be able to get some really nice before and afters, and of course dooring. Sam has already blown the slopes of the attic. Now he is well underway insulating the attic flats. He's blowing an R38, which is approximately 13 inches. There are 13-inch markers throughout the attic, so Sam is blowing above that 13-inch area. Hello, here we're up in the attic. Sam has just finished insulating the attic to an R38. The attic is completely covered with the insulation. Where the attic lid was, Sam has put a barrier up. We use a cardboard barrier so that the insulation doesn't fall down in. Sam, you just finished insulating the attic. Now what are you doing?
Now we're going to be we put a pillow on the attic access lid, and we'll just be filling it up with insulation. We use it's like a shirt-like material.
And that's going to prevent the heat from rising where you access the attic?
Yeah, it'll prevent from pretty much the access being like a big chimney in the middle of it.
Very good, thank you. Go ahead. Now that we just finished blowing the holes, what are we going to do now?
We're going to use these 2-inch styrofoam plugs that we cut out of styrofoam board. And we're just going to use these to plug the hole so that we can put our mud in the hole. That way it doesn't sink into the hole.
So you offset them a little bit so you can get enough plaster on there to match it to the wall, it looks like?
Yeah, they said in there about 1/8 of an inch, I'd say.
What are you doing, Justin?
Right now I'm just putting a first coat of mud on our holes. That way we can get our second coat on after that, I guess.
Well, here we are at the completion of this video. The holes were painted after they were plastered. The work site was cleaned up, and we are now complete. Thanks for watching this show of Everlast Insulation.